Hello, Grade 4 students, and welcome to a new lesson. Today's lesson is Orientation 2. As for the objectives of the lesson, by the end of the lesson, you will be able to recall the rules of the present progressive, have to, has to, countable and uncountable, some, any, a, an, how much, how many, and the past simple. Let's start with the rule of the present progressive. Now read the question with me and answer after referring to the picture. What are you doing now? Look at the picture. It's written do homework, and I'm saying now. You would say, I am doing my homework now. Excellent. Forming sentences using the present progressive. Read the sentence with me. I am doing my homework now. We form it by I am plus the verb in the ing. Next, she is doing her homework now. We can replace the she with he or it, or we can use a name of one person. Plus is plus the verb in the ing. Next, they are doing their homework now. We form it by using they, we, or you, or names of two people or more. Plus are plus the verb in the ing. We use this tense to talk about temporary actions or actions that are happening at the moment of speaking. And the keywords are now, right now, at the moment. Forming the negative of the present progressive. In the first sentence, I am not doing my homework now. We form it by starting with I plus am plus not, and then the verb in the ing. Next, she isn't doing her homework now. We start by he, she, or it, or a name of one person, plus is, plus not, plus the verb in the ing. Next, they aren't doing their homework now. We start with they, we, or you, or even names of two people or more, plus are, plus not, plus the verb in the ing form. Now it's time to practice. Do as shown. Correct the verb between brackets. Let's read sentence number 1. Sally, watch TV now. We have Sally one person, so we say Sally is. And the verb watch, we add ing, so we say Sally is watching TV now. Number 2. They not swim in the pool now. They aren't swimming in the pool now. Number 3. The cat drink milk at the moment. The cat is drinking milk at the moment. 4. He not read a story right now. He isn't reading a story right now. 5. Huda and Maha play in the park now. Huda and Maha are playing in the park now. 6. Look, Rashid fly a kite now. Look, Rashid is flying a kite now. Good job. Now, it's time to move to the rule of have to and has to. Read the question with me and answer after referring to the picture. What do you have to do? Look at the picture. It's written sleep early. You would say, I have to sleep early. Excellent. Forming sentences using have to. Read the example with me. They have to clean the house. How to form this sentence? We start with I, we, you, they, or a name of more than one person. Then we use have to, and then we use the verb in the infinitive form, which is the verb without adding anything to it. Read the next example with me. He has to make his bed. How do we form this? We start with he, she, it, or a name of one person. Then we use has to, and then we use the verb in the infinitive form. And we use have to and has to express obligation. Forming questions with short answers using have to. Read the example with me. Do they have to clean the house? We start with do, you, they, we, or I, then have to, then the verb in the infinitive form and the question mark. If you want to answer with the affirmative, we would say, yes, they do. And if you want to answer with the negative, we would say, no, they don't. Let's continue with forming questions with short answers. Read the example with me. Does he have to make his bed? We start with does, then he, she, it, or a name of one person. Then we use have to, and then the verb in the infinitive form, and we end with a question mark. But if we want to answer with the affirmative, we would say, yes, he does. And if you want to answer with the negative, we would say, no, he doesn't. Let's do this activity together. Activity 3. Read and complete. Use the correct form of have to. Number 1. Tariq, we have the verb go, to school by bus today. It's raining, so he can't ride his bike. We would say, Tariq has to go to school by bus today. It's raining, so he can't ride his bike. Now pause the video and complete. Number 2. Do you have to make your bed every morning? Number 3. Salman doesn't have to rake the leaves. His brother is doing it. Number 4. There's a lot of snow outside. My dad has to shovel the snow. Number 5. The children don't have to bring food on the school trip. It's time to go over the countable and uncountable. Read the first sentence with me. There's a banana on the table. There's is the same as there is, and we use it to talk about one thing that exists in a place. Now read the next sentence. There are some onions on the table. There are, we use it to talk about many things that exist in a place. Now look at the following sentences and read them with me. There's some flour and some butter. There's an orange and a mango. There isn't any juice in the fridge. Let's go over the use of the words in red. A and an are used with singular countable nouns, such as a date, an onion. Next, some is used with plural countable nouns. For example, some onions, because we can count them. Also, some is used with uncountable nouns. Look at the example, some milk. We can't count the milk. Any is used with countable and uncountable nouns in questions and negative sentences. For example, is there any juice? Now, let's practice. Do as shown between brackets. Number 1. I want an apple. You need to correct the underlined word. Apple starts with a vowel, so we would say an apple. Number 2. We need an peaches for the fruit salad. Let's correct the underlined word. It's wrong. It should be we need some peaches for the fruit salad. 3. Drinking a milk is good for you. Let's correct the underlined word. Drinking some milk is good for you. 4. Sarah eats an pineapple every day. Let's correct it. We would say Sarah eats a pineapple every day. It's time to do the next activity. Activity 2. Read and write. Use some or any. Number 1. The children want space chicken on their pizza. We would say the children want some chicken on their pizza. Now pause the video and complete. Number 2. Are there any biscuits in the cupboard? 3. Is there any juice in the fridge? 4. I need some milk for my tea. 5. Have we got any sugar? 6. There are some pears and watermelon in my basket. Good job. Now let's go over the use of how much and how many. Read the question with me and answer after referring to the picture. How much milk do you drink every day? Look at the picture. It's written 1 cup. You would say, I drink 1 cup of milk every day. Read the next question with me. How much chocolate do you eat a week? When do we use how much? We use it to ask about the quantity of uncountable nouns. Now read the next question. How many oranges do we have? When do we use how many? We use it to ask about the quantity of countable nouns. It's time for some practice. Fill in the gap with how much or how many. Number 1. Space, birds are there. We would say, how many birds are there? Number 2. Space, water is in the ocean. We would say, how much water is in the ocean? Number 3. Countries are there in the world. We would say, how many countries are there in the world? It's time to go over the rule of past simple. Please read the question with me and answer after referring to the picture. What did you do yesterday? Look at the picture. It's written play park. You would answer, I played in the park yesterday. Forming sentences using the past simple. Read the sentence with me. Ahmed ate an apple last night. How did we form it? We start with he, she, it, I, we, you, they, or a name of one person, or more than one person. Then we use the verb in the past. Let's go over the negative. We would say, Ahmed didn't eat an apple last night. Whenever we have did in a sentence or a question, we use the verb in the base form. What about the keywords? We would say yesterday, last week, last night, last month, or a week ago, 3 days ago, and so on. And we use it to talk about actions that happened in the past and finished. Let's practice. Activity 3. Read and circle. Number 1. I'm sad because my favorite basketball team lost or didn't lose the game yesterday. What would you choose? You would choose lost. Now pause the video and complete. Number 2. Khalid trained every day for 6 months and he won the swimming competition. Number 3. Did you use my tennis racket, طارق? Number 4. Alexander Fleming didn't invent the telephone. Alexander Graham Bell invented it. Now let's do the next activity. Do as shown between brackets. Number 1. I fly a kite yesterday. Let's correct the verb between brackets. We have yesterday, so we would say I flew a kite yesterday. Number 2. The family, space, not go, to the beach last week. Let's correct the verb. The family didn't go to the beach last week. Number 3. The team, space, lose the match last year. Let's correct the verb. The team lost the match last year. 4. Sarah, space, write a sentence in the notebook last night. Let's correct the verb. Sarah wrote a sentence in the notebook last night. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.